Hi May, I'm
Hi.
Nathan. Nice to meet you. Welcome to my
Nice to
office.
meet
Please
you.
take a seat. So I understand you have a problem you'd like to discuss with me today. We're just going to start by talking a bit about your problem, so hopefully we can find the root of it and come to a solution together. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that's good.
Great. So can you start by telling me why you come to see me today?
I've just been feeling very depressed lately.
You've been feeling depressed, and why is that?
Well, I moved away to university and I've been feeling quite lonely since I've been here.
Oh, so you've been feeling lonely since you've been at university.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
I think maybe I just haven't really made friends that well. I'm struggling to make friends here.
You're struggling to make friends? Is that something you've had trouble with in the past?
Yeah, kind of. Like at high school, I couldn't really make friends that well, and I don't have many friends from school anymore because we've just lost touch or we've fallen out.
So can you tell me a bit more about these friendships in high school?
Well, I didn't really have like a best friend that I did everything with, and towards the last few years, I was part of a friendship group, but it seemed like at the end it seemed quite fake, and we just all lost touch because we weren't really friends with each other. We just did things together, and we fell out a lot. There were a lot of arguments.
So would you say that you don't have any recent experience with having actual close friends?
Yeah, and it's just making me feel a bit sad because I like having somebody to tell everything to and open up to, and I don't at the moment.
So you had this problem in high school and it's persisting to university?
Yeah.
And has this been a problem from the very start of university?
No, like when I first started, I had like 3 friends and we did everything together. We were really comfortable, but then like just suddenly one day it was like we were strangers to each other, and I don't really know why.
And can you think of any possible event that caused that?
Well, I mean, we're all quite stubborn, and I guess we just had an argument and it didn't really get resolved, and then they just decided that it'd be better off if they hung out without me.
So there's some underlying tension between you guys.
Yeah.
How long has it been since you haven't been speaking to them?
About 3 months.
Okay, so I'm just wondering then, if this is a problem you've been having for a few months now, why is it that you've just come to see me?
Just things keep happening to me that I've been trying to like power through and not let it affect me, but it is, and it's building up. Like, they all live in my building, so I have to see them every single day, and I see them in the dining hall, and I see them walking to class and doing things together that I would usually be doing with them, and I can hear them from my bedroom as well.
That must be very difficult. So how does it make you feel when you see them doing things without you?
Just very left out. Like, I'll see them going to dinner without me, and then I don't really have... They were like my only friends, so I don't have anyone else to go with, so I just feel completely alone.
So I'm so very sorry you're going through this. It must be very difficult to not have any friends. And so may I ask, what's stopping you from making new ones?
I don't know. Like, I think I'm very good at making friends at the beginning, but holding on to them and actually being properly friends with them, I just don't really know how to do, and it always seems to be, everything seems to go wrong quite quickly whenever I try and make new friends.
Can you think of any instances in the past where you've made friends and things haven't gone wrong?
We always seem to get into like arguments, and then they just never get resolved. Because I don't really know why the argument started and who was right or wrong, but I don't think I really was wrong, and I guess I'm quite stubborn and they are too, so just everything gets left unresolved.
So it sounds like when you have arguments with friends of yours, you tend to fail to find a compromise.
Yeah, like, I don't know, I feel like I can see things quite clearly, and I see exactly what's going on, and when they don't just kind of admit that they're wrong, I can't just let that be okay, so stop being friends.
So it sounds to me that you're very fixed in your way of thinking.
Yeah.
And do you ever try to think from the perspective of your friends?
I mean, sometimes I do, but I find it quite difficult to be like empathetic with people. Like I guess I just can't see things the way that they can sometimes. But I think it's quite clear what's going on.
Have you always had troubles being empathetic?
Yeah, like I don't really show that much emotion, like generally with anyone in any relationship, and sometimes it's been a problem, but I don't know.
Okay, well, I'm just wondering then, do you think that you'd be able to see a bit of improvement in your relationships if you were to perhaps be a bit more empathetic and try and see things from your friend's point of view?
Yeah, I mean, maybe I could like sometimes just let things go. I'm quite bad. I hold like a lot of grudges, and they don't really go away, so they kind of just stick to that person, and I feel like I can't be friends with them anymore. As soon as they've done like one thing that I don't think is okay.
So perhaps you have some problems forgiving?
Yeah, and I don't really apologise too much either.
Well, if you're having trouble forgiving in these instances, it just makes me wonder, can you think of an instance in which you have successfully forgiven somebody?
I mean, I have one friend that we don't fall out that much at all, and like, and maybe it is because whenever they do something that is a little bit off to me, I just let it go. But I find it difficult to do that to everybody and to keep that up.
What makes it different from that one friend and everybody else?
We've just been friends for like so many more years, and we have like a history, and I feel like I can't just throw that friendship away.
Okay, so you feel a certain attachment to this friend that you don't to everybody else?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just wondering then how this attachment could have formed if you seem to have trouble making it in the first place.
I guess I was quite young when we became friends, me and my close one, and now I'm a bit more sure of like who I am. Like I think I know who I am a bit more, and I just don't think I'm very compatible with other people. Like, and it's quite difficult.
Okay, so we're reaching to the end of our session now. So I'll just summarise what we've been talking about. You've told me that since you've been at university, you felt a bit depressed and lonely because you've had trouble making friends. The friends you did make in the beginning, you weren't really able to stick with them. You sort of followed a similar pattern to what you usually do. And now you're hoping that you'll be able to make new friends and form close relationships. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think then we should continue talking about this next week.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.